very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
There's an entire advanced civilization there, including some of the largest pyramids on Earth, right in Antarctica. He said he flew into an area that opened up at Antarctica, and he went into an area where it was lush and tropical almost. We have a new enemy that can fly from pole to pole with extreme speed.
Well, technical
and he says they come and go as they
there.
please because nobody can stop them.
Get that off.
There is a situation that began to happen during World War II where they discovered that the Nazis had went down to Antarctica and built a base down there, New Schwabenland. They were like, wait a minute, why in the world would they go to this desolate place? What's down there that they would want to go through the harsh weather and risk everything, risk even their lives to be down there and build a base? Now, there's an incredible story that was in Admiral Byrd's diary that was found by his kids, where he said he flew into an area that opened up at Antarctica, and he went into an area where it was lush and tropical almost. And as he got into this area, this is according to his own diary, people can look this up, something took over his plane, and these two UFO-type craft, circular craft, flying saucers came, and it took over his craft, and it guided him in to this area where they landed. And then they took him to meet somebody that he calls in his diary, the Master. Pretty interesting story. And according to this account, the Nazis had gotten help to create these craft called the Hanabu. They had 4 versions of this craft, these circular disc craft, from these people down there. The guy, this Master, told him that they were wary of the nuclear bombs that had just, been utilized, dropped the nuclear on Japan and so forth, and they were wary of our experimentation with nuclear devices and wars because they're sharing this planet as well. Pretty interesting story. And so, all of a sudden, Admiral Byrd's going down there with a fleet, not just a small fleet. He took over 3,000 people with him. This was a huge expedition. It was a military expedition. When he got down there, they had a situation where some of these flying objects were attacking some of their ships and actually destroyed some of them. Sent him back home packing with his tail between his legs. This is one of the top admirals, literally the top admiral in the world at the time for the United States military. He said that we have a new enemy that can fly from pole to pole with extreme speed. Why would he make a statement like that? And then all of a sudden, these Nazi, they are rumored to have these craft, which some of the designs have been found, called Hanabu. And these Hanabu craft had the capability of utilizing a couple different forms of propulsion. One was jets, so they could take off vertically. They had little jets that would thrust and take off vertically, but then from there they can shoot off horizontally. Well, they were using a device that was spinning in the center of the craft, and what it appears to be is they began to copy technology from the ancient Indian Vedas, because Hitler was sending his people all around the world to get knowledge on ancient technology. That's how they found these people in Antarctica. He even sent people to Tibet, Nazis to Tibet, to talk to the people in Tibet to find out about this ancient technology. He found out about Vimanas, and these people supposedly in Antarctica helped him develop a couple of them, where they use a ferrofluid vortex engine. A ferrofluid is a liquid metal like mercury. And in the ancient Indian Vedas, if you take mercury and rotate it at a high rotation, a high RPM, and electrify it, you get something called anti-gravity. So he was utilizing something that had rotating discs underneath these round craft, according to eyewitness accounts, and also the schematics that were discovered during the collapse of Nazi Germany. And it's pretty interesting that I think besides the uranium that's down there in Antarctica, which obviously you know what uranium's used for, right? Nuclear power plants and also nuclear weapons. There's mountains. Admiral Byrd said there were mountains of coal with no ice caps. No ice caps, his exact words. And I can give you a copy to this video. His own mouth is saying, no ice. Mountains of coal that can satisfy the world's need for coal for a very, very, very long time. Also, there's plutonium down there. Again, so uranium and plutonium, we know that if you have a high level of plutonium and uranium, it's one of the easier elements that you can separate the atoms. You can split atoms very easily, which makes it high use for weaponry and also power plants. So that's why the government wanted access down there. That's why the Germans wanted access down there. And that's why after Germany fell, we had Project Paperclip, where we took all the scientists from Germany that had learned all this wisdom and knowledge, and we brought them to America. People think Project Paperclip was just a small number of Nazis. We took over 2,000 Nazis with us and brought them to America and put them in positions of power over technology companies, the CIA, the space program at NASA, and so forth and so on. And we began to develop these technologies. So in a weird kind of way, America became the Fourth Reich, to be honest with you. And I know that they were developing at the time Hanaboo No. 4, which supposedly Hitler never got killed. He escaped in Hanaboo No. 4 to Argentina, which is very, very close to where? Antarctica. If you look at Google Sky right now on the computer and look down on Antarctica, you'll find bases from research bases from every major country in the world there. And you'll also find the Rockefeller Foundation base as well. So Admiral Byrd was right. All the technology and research, it's the #1 place in the world for technology research is right down there in Antarctica. I believe that as the ice is melting, they're finding remnants of an ancient civilization. We know that Antarctica was not a frozen tundra for 12 million years, like mainstream science says 12 million years to build up all this ice. No, that's not accurate. We know this because of the Perry-Reese map. The Perry-Reese map shows Antarctica what it looked like without ice on it, and that's not even that old. So we know that Antarctica shifted into that spot. How? Because we know that Antarctica is surrounded by tectonic plates. And so that landmass was on a plate that slipped and there was something called a pole shift of the crust of the Earth, which shifted it from a more habitable climate into the position it is now. And that's why the animals that are being uncovered from the ice were flash frozen with undigested food in their stomachs. And there's an entire advanced civilization there, including some of the largest pyramids on Earth, right in Antarctica. Like they make the one at Giza, the Great Pyramid, look like, a buggy, a dune buggy. I mean, these things are super massive. There's only a couple things we know. Like one of the pyramids is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers at the base.
Wow.
The height is just, it's massive. It's way up there. Like, it's in the thousands of feet. But also, one former military person that was a source for Linda Moulton Howe, this was on a documentary she was in. She said that source told her, after going down there for research, I guess in private security, that it was still emitting some type of exotic energy, which is pretty interesting because that was the second time I heard a statement like that. The first time was on a documentary that came on Discovery Channel about the Bermuda Triangle when they found those pyramids off the coast of Cuba down there. All right, which is clearly scanned. Everybody knows that they exist. But this guy was taking he would get off the boat and take like a dinghy out to float to the center area. And he said the same thing. Some type of exotic energy was draining his batteries on his cameras. He had to try 3 times to get this thing recorded properly. He said exotic energy. And what's interesting is if you take a perfect line and draw it from the tip of the Bermuda Triangle, the center of the Bermuda Triangle, straight through the Earth, you come out at the Yonaguni Pyramid at the Dragon's Triangle in Japan, which is also rumored to have disappearances and exotic energy and all this other crazy stuff. So in some way, these pyramid structures around the world are all linked with potentially portals of some type or energetic portals.
The Antarctica Treaty. Do you know about this?
Yeah, that treaty was to allow peaceful collaboration of research and science down there, no war zone. You can actually go down there. There's a guy who's got a new show on my TV network his name is Brad Olson. It's called The Secrets of Antarctica. He went down there, and so we're documenting the whole thing. He went down there. He pulled up on the research facilities. He had to get approval to come on land. They wouldn't let him inside of the facilities, but he did get a chance to go down there. So people who say it's impenetrable and no civilian can get there, that's actually not true. You actually can. It's very expensive and it's very taxing on the body, but you can get down there. And so it's pretty interesting. So that'll be coming out soon. But there's an opening next to these research facilities. And this is why I believe they made this treaty, this sharing of information treaty or whatever. There's a 30-meter wide opening there. You can see it on the Google Sky thing. And what's interesting, on Google Earth, I'm sorry. And when you look at it, like, what's in there? Now, why are they over here? And why are they so close to this gigantic opening? What's in there? And I think the answer is whatever Admiral Byrd came across, or whatever they're coming across, I think it's linked. I think there's a remnant of an ancient civilization in there that possibly is still there, and they're in communication with them, in my opinion. Another thing that backs this up, I took a remote viewing course with Major Ed Dames, Project Stargate, former CIA, United States. And his project was for remote viewing. So I took a course with him several years. He was my actual teacher, my direct teacher. It wasn't like I was under some other people that worked with him. No, he was my direct teacher. There's pictures of me with this man. And he told me that there's beings that have easy and free access to come and go as they please from Antarctica. At one of these classes, class was over. It was like a 10-hour class. We were just sitting around talking, having a casual conversation. He told me a few other things, but that was one of the things that kind of stood out. And he says they come and go as they please because nobody can stop them.
Are you familiar with the bell?
The Nazi bell, the Die Glock?
Yes.
Yeah. The Die Glock is an amazing device that was being developed by the Nazis during World War II. This Die Glock, again, technology that they learned about through an advanced civilization that they were in communication with through the Thule Society. This Thule, Thule, Thule Society, they were using psychics to channel information from an advanced alien race. And they were taking this knowledge and then turning it into actual real workable technology. And so they had this thing in Germany called the henge, where they had these gigantic stone pillars in the shape of a henge. And they had the Die Glock in the middle. It looked like an acorn, a UFO type, but an acorn-shaped UFO. And it had these multi-counterclockwise spinning pieces on it that was spinning all different ways. The ultimate purpose of it seems to have been some type of time travel. And this thing at one point, based on eyewitness accounts, it's turned on and activated and it disappeared from the henge. It was seen like, I forget how many decades later. I think it crashed somewhere in Virginia or something, according to these accounts. I got to look that up to make sure I'm not making a mistake there. But it reappeared later, and it crashed somewhere, I believe, in the Americas. And this thing was the same exact shape and description as the Die Glock. And what was it for? I believe that they were trying to tap into time travel so that they can go back in time and change the past so they can have a Nazi-dominant future. You see, they wanted to alter realities. The only problem with going back in time they didn't take into consideration is that if you go back in time, you can't alter the future reality that you existed in on the same timeline. Because when you go back in time, you shift into a different alternate timeline altogether, allowing you to go back in time in the first place and see even yourself. So it's like the grandfather paradox, right? If you go back in time and kill your grandfather, how in the world were you born to go back in time to kill your grandfather? Well, the answer is you shift into an alternate timeline. Now, going into the future, you stay on the same timeline. We know this because time travel into the future happens every day. Even when you get on an airplane, you travel into the future based on relativity. The person standing still on the ground and you moving across the sky in a plane, we know that you're moving forward in time by microns of tenths of a second, but you're moving in time. Same thing with astronauts when they travel into space. We know for a fact that because they're traveling at high speeds, they come back microns of a second younger than us. So traveling to the future, you can stay on the same timeline, but going into the past, you can't. So that whole thing would have failed anyway.
Please engage with this video by liking, commenting, and sharing. Subscribe to stay updated. For more amazing content, check out our next video.
You're live with King Matt. The God's back.
Let go.
Let's get locked in.
Flat Earthers, Globe Earthers, come out and play. Yeah. more crazy and confusion for the delusion. Welcome. Will you be my student? They like, nigga, no, nigga. Are we back with another flat earther? What said has been already said. Let me touch on a few things. Billy Carson said, for one, Billy Carson is like the final boss. He's like the final boss to the fucking flat earthers trying to prove their point. Because what's deep is I rock with Billy Carson heavy about everything, the Anunnaki, the Atlanteans, Thoth, and the Emerald Tablets, all the information he's revealed. It sent me deeper down the rabbit hole, and I kept learning and learning. But the one thing he believes in is a globe earth. Like, yo, I need the strongest flat earther to debate fucking Billy Carson. Like where you at? Who's the strongest? I'll debate him. He gonna body slam me all left and right, but he gonna be like, nigga, you ain't even been to Egypt, and I'll be fucking already defeated. Like, nah, but for real, I need to know what's going on. Like, I think I can give him a run for it, because all the excuses that the globe earthers give us, like, yeah, we're spinning 1,000 million miles per hour while spinning 1,000,000 miles per hour while rotating 1,000,000 miles per hour around the sun, like, but we don't feel it. We don't feel no inertia or nothing. And then what's the other thing they say? They always, like I said, I always go back to the gravitron theory. That's what they say. Like, it creates a pull because it's spinning, and it pulls you. Yo, get out of here, man. If something's spinning, it's gonna fly off. Like, so. And then they say, it's a magnetic pull of the Earth's core and all this. Like, they may have a point. Let me put my thinking cap on. I'm not even in the flat Earth mind, but I think. Oh, what else? Billy Carson talked on though. He talked on that Nazi design, that Bell type UFO. And it's deep because I believe they did have that tech. The Germans and the Nazis. I believe they did get that tech down pat. And remember, I told you before, a lot of these inventions and visions and instructions how to get these future designs and stuff be coming from like entities, spirits, demons. You know, they not astral project, they remote viewing. Go check out that chronovisor video I got. It's probably early in the live stream playlist, one of the first ones I did, and it was banging. Like, yo, some of my first lives was fucking littered than these latest lives have just been like serious tone. Motherfuckers is not clicking on, and they're like, nah, nigga. But it's sad the way to get views on this shit, I gotta be acting like a fucking hooligan and acting all crazy and stuff like that. That's what's sad about it. But what's deep they said about that Bell UFO design was that it wasn't like a flying design, that it was actually what Billy Carson was explaining, that it was actually a time vehicle. And I mean, that could be true, because around that time when they had that fucking Bell UFO, like, shit might have changed and we probably wouldn't even known it. You go back in time and then wake up in the morning like USA is fucking Nazi Germany or something. You be like, oh, what the fuck? But that's why a lot of people say, like, all those scientists, they end up just coming over here. Like, they really say, like, it never died. Like, United States is the fucking rebirth. You know, like the Third Reich and all that. What do they call that Star Wars show? The Order. First Order. Like, we the United States to turn to the First Order. They got all that tech from them fucking spirits and them high level density dimension beings, probably archons, giving up the fucking blueprints and designs for shit. Might have been helping white people. Like, that's why a lot of us had this question, like, if we want to go with the theory of like a lot of black indigenous people ruled Earth up until the 1500s, 1600s, and it started getting really shifty and shaky, like, and all of a sudden they just snapped their finger and all saying like niggas is in change, like and white people ran the world. So something is weird about that. Maybe they did hop in a time machine. Like, I mean, maybe they did use a lot of that technology and designs to just straight just shit on us. Like, what I think happened was a lot of these it was a lot of wars that they didn't have documented. They probably nuked a lot of places and just straight wiped them out, and then they just moved in and act like they lived there. Like, oh yeah, we here. We're the original fucking Britons. We're the original Anglo-Saxons. We're the original Spaniards. Like, yeah, alright. You don't know nothing about that. Alright, but let's keep going. Billy Carson dropped some deep shit. I wasn't really paying attention, but I already know what he was saying. This nigga is the final boss to the fucking... We want to defeat the globe earthers. It's him. I need him to really break it down for me. Like, well, why they keep saying that we didn't go to space again? Or why they keep saying, like, we can't get to space, or we can't get past the Van Allen belt, or the radiation, and is there a firmament? It's like mad questions I want to ask him, like, what's beyond Antarctica? Like, do he believe in the ice rings and the Terra Infinite map? Like, I know it'll fuck his head up if I start asking him questions. He'd be like, oh, nigga, chill out. like, ain't ready for that young smoke. Like, I'm that young guy, man. I come for real. I'll let him talk, and then I'll be like, know what? Let me pick his shit apart. Pick that shit apart. But we gonna go on. I got videos that do all the talking for me. Like, y'all really don't want me to go into some real deep science knowledge. But I'm gonna be stopping here and there to let y'all catch up on shit I'm saying. So let's get right to it then. I'm thinking about going on Instagram and give y'all some laughs for a second. Let's go. Hold up, let me refresh this OBS.
That contains the life support system and communications link from the spacecraft life support system out through that chest pack.
Boy, you don't get that fake ass shit out of here.
And that radio command link.
They need to be a fucking ashamed of themselves. What's crazy is back in the day, like, I think people was way more easy to be fucking fooled and programmed and shit. As we go on and we start understanding technology, and our brains start comprehending. See, off the naked eye, the brain will just automatically be like, something ain't right. But how come back in that day, it's weird. We got like 50 years, 75 years ago, no one just said, hey, that look fishy. Like, everybody just believed it, like, oh yeah, we went to the moon. Like, cause that shit trash right there. Yo, that's trash, my boy. Like, yo, come on, man. Like, I can do that right now on my fucking programs 1 billion times better. I mean, obviously, technology is advanced, but that's one thing I know Billy Carson can't fucking, he ain't gonna beat us on if NASA been faking all this footage. He gonna try, but ain't no way he can even look at it and be like, oh no, that's real, that's the planet. Like, boy, you'll be out of here, Billy Carson, if you say, no, this is real. I'll be like, know what? Throw the whole fucking master teacher away. Like, all right, so let's see, this is trash. It was 1966 trash. Absolute trash.
Actually, it's a link along that tether line you see there, 25 feet of umbilical cord. That contains the life support system and communications link from the spacecraft life support system out through that chest pack.
They need to stop trying. They playing without intelligence.
And that radio command.
All right, we out there. That's
So why are they teaching the globe model? Well, you see, the globe is a container, and it's a container of all the known land. And you see, have you heard of such a thing as no-fly zones? For instance, you can't fly in certain areas near the Arctic Circle or the Antarctic Circle. The reasons being is because there are lands there that...
Bro, when I heard him say that before, I was like, when I heard him say, and reminding us that they call it the Antarctic Circle, bro, like, yo, like, I wanted to punch a globe earther in the face, like, yo, that shit right in our face, Arctic Circle. Oh my God, like, that speaks for its fucking self, like, wow, like, nah, you ain't gonna say, no, it's because the continent is a circle. Nah, bro. They slipped up. I bet they don't call it the Arctic Circle no more. That was back when they didn't know we was gonna catch up and catch on to the bullshit. Cause this is the Arctic Circle, y'all. And there's more land. I swear there's more land. Like the universe is speaking to me like, yo, it's more land. I need you to take a motherfucking army across that Arctic Circle and get busy. Nah, we don't want no war though. they probably technology is probably next level. We ain't doing shit over there.
we're not supposed to know about. I'll give you one example. Sir Captain George Hubert Wilkins, a contemporary of Admiral Byrd, he flew beyond Antarctica 5,000 miles, according to his records, and he said that he found there many, many lands and peoples 5,000 miles beyond Antarctica. That's just one example of an explorer who has found lands that are not at all on any of our maps. They are excluded from all of our maps. That's why international pilots have such a thing as no-fly zone, because they don't want those lands to be discovered.
Duh. Know what it is they probably said to the first leaders, Admiral Byrd and all that. That's gonna come up a lot when they first went over there and what was it, Operation High Jump and shit. They probably had to jump up this big ass ice wall. They probably didn't have helicopters, nice ass helicopters, or airplanes that can go in that extreme cold conditions yet. Well, they said they did. They said one of Admiral Byrd's pilots probably disobeyed, snuck off, because he probably was like, yo, I can't, y'all not going to tell me I can't see the rest of the world. It's right there across. So Admiral Byrd went across there, the military, the world leaders, and they probably told him, listen, you better take your ass back into that main Earth area and keep any other motherfucking humans from coming over there, or we're gonna fucking straight blow you off the map. And I'm pretty sure they probably seen the tech and was like, oh, we better see. And they probably offered them like, nah, man, you obey us, we'll give you we'll let you rule over that little area. And so I think that's basically what happened. And the world leaders are basically descendants. Especially, it seemed like all this extra tight tyranny and colonization just happened like right a little. Well, it happened before, but after Admiral Byrd and they took that trip to Antarctica, and after the Antarctic Treaty and stuff got put forth, it seemed like they just went straight domination over the people, like, because they had the cosign of the motherfuckers on the outer rings. They said, we give you all what tech you need and different things. You just keep those fucking ghetto humans and then inside your circle. That's basically what the fuck happened.
Antarctica, 5.
Oh my God. Billy Carson ain't gonna co-sign this one either. He gonna be like, nah, I don't think he'll co-sign a lot of what NASA does. But as far as what his theories and beliefs and science and knowledge, he believes in the globe Earth. But it's still something fishy going on. I need him to explain. I don't need him to explain why they say they can't. They can't go back to the moon no more. Also, they can send robots and stuff, but humans they ain't go. Cause that radiation, I think the radiation of the Van Allen belt is really is kind of like a form of the dome and shit. But yeah, they definitely, that's definitely a remote control car. Yo, they killing us out here. Like, NASA got us looking stupid. Alright, and this is also a theory that I came across my damn self, and it was like when they learning about fluidic space, and it's not like air when we go out in space. It's like if we get past the firmament, it's like a fluidic space, like a different type of liquid. Like it's some next level shit. I mean, we can't drink it or anything like that. It's just it's something different. And I think we sealed in it, and the firmament is keeping us from going out into it. To be honest, my opinion, I think we're underwater. You know how like them snow globes, and you shake them up. You get them for Christmas, the holiday. You shake them Jones up, and it got the little dome around it. Them little snow Christmas globes. I think it's like something like that, but it's underwater. But the water is like that fluidic space. It's just some I forgot, I can't put my name on it right now, but it's just some shit. So this guy is talking about basically water, space, but I don't think it's the exact same type. Yo, another theory I had also was, what if we kind of upside down and like space in the sky is like the ocean, like, but we're kind of upside down, because it seemed like a lot of these movies like Godzilla and what was the other movie? Atlantis, what was it? The Aquaman movies. And there was another one where they come out like a portal out of the water. But definitely the Godzilla movie. It don't seem like when they go down, especially Godzilla, always come through some type of a wormhole, a Stargate. And that's for the most part the only way you're going to get out of this fucking... Let me shut up.
Our presence teaches inverse of truths about reality and everything. As a truth seeker, research the opposite of what we teach.
I know it look crazy on your end because, I still got that setting on OBS that whatever screen capture I'm displaying through OBS, the black or the greens, it's just like, it's weird. It's all black. I know y'all see it on YouTube side, but fuck it. Let's go to the next video.
Our presence teaches.
That's how it be. NASA Photoshop lying ass. Was it Stanley Kubrick or somebody? I gotta look at it. I'm gonna play a video that's gonna go deep. Yeah, Billy. I want that smoke. Billy won't smoke me if I ever debate. He wouldn't even bait me. He'd be like, you ain't nobody. Ain't baiting you. No, I'm gonna take y'all to PowerPoint because I really should have took y'all to PowerPoint first. Let me take y'all to PowerPoint and let y'all rock out.
Antarctica.
Alright, I'm getting this from check this bull channel out. It's called Eridan. I had found him a couple months ago. His shit pretty deep. He got skills. He definitely does some research. I don't be feeling like doing the research. All the learned knowledge, I can explain everything to you, but I gotta go get the sources and the research just so you fucking, I gotta prove to you like that I did the research. But it's evident. Subscribe to his shit. Check him out.
Has captured the imagination of many who claim ancient civilizations lie buried beneath the ice, and rumors of extraterrestrial contact and advanced technology hidden in its remote corners abound. While the secular narrative dismisses many of these theories as speculative or lacking evidence, supporters argue that Antarctica holds clues to humanity's past, present, and future that have yet to be fully explored and understood. In this video, I am to discuss the truth surrounding Antarctica, with the goal to entice people to read the works within the Bible, so that they may follow more closely the Word of God. If you enjoyed the contents of this video, please remember to like, and if you would want to see more, subscribe. Antarctica, a location of ice and mystery, has been the stage for numerous famous expeditions that have captivated the imagination of explorers and adventurers for centuries. These explorations, driven by a spirit of discovery, scientific inquiry, and human endurance, have pushed the boundaries of exploration, unraveling the secrets of this remote and inhospitable location. The first of many well-documented explorations of the region can be attributed to the voyages of Captain James Cook during the 18th century. Captain Cook, an iconic figure of maritime exploration, emerged from humble beginnings to become one of the most accomplished navigators and cartographers of his time. Born in 1728 in Marton, Yorkshire, Cook began his seafaring career as an apprentice in the British Merchant Navy before rising through the ranks of the Royal Navy. His unparalleled skills in navigation and cartography, coupled with a relentless spirit of curiosity, led to a series of transformative voyages. The first of Cook's voyages began in 1768 and lasted until 1771. Whilst aboard the HMS Endeavour, with the objective of observing the transit of Venus and the general exploration of the Pacific Ocean, Cook greatly contributed to the understanding of geography and navigation, later impacting the subsequent voyages near Antarctica. The second voyage began in 1772 and lasted until 1775. This time, whilst aboard the HMS Resolution and the HMS Adventure, Cook explored the Southern Ocean with the goal of discovering the elusive continent of Terra Australis Incognita, which is translated to the unknown land of the South. While the expedition skirted the edges of the Antarctic Circle and explored the Southern Ocean extensively, it did not encounter Antarctica. The third voyage began in 1776 and lasted until 1779. Whilst aboard the HMS Resolution and HMS Discovery, Cook, again, did not encounter Antarctica, as the objective focused on finding a northern passage between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. As is evidently expressed within each explanation of his voyages, Cook did not discover Antarctica. However, due to his efforts, his produced charts and navigational...
Cause that shit don't exist. That's why I ain't saying that. He probably got to the ice wall and was just like, where the fuck is it at? So he just turned his ass back. All right, let's go on to Admiral Byrd, because I feel like Admiral Byrd is the key to a lot of it.
However, it would be because of flight, not sail, that the mystery of Antarctica would later reignite. This brings us to a man known as Richard Evelyn Byrd, famously referred to as Admiral Byrd. Richard Byrd, born on October 25, 1888, in Winchester, Virginia, was an American naval officer, aviator, and polar explorer who made significant contributions to the exploration of Antarctica and the advancement of aviation technology. Byrd's passion for exploration led him to undertake several groundbreaking expeditions to the world's polar regions, earning him international acclaim and recognition. Byrd's interest in aviation began during his time at the United States Naval Academy, where he graduated in 1912. He quickly distinguished himself as a skilled pilot and became one of the Navy's foremost aviation pioneers. Bird's early accomplishments included developing innovative navigation techniques and participating in numerous aerial missions during World War I. In the years following the war, Bird's attention turned to polar exploration, particularly Antarctica. His first expedition to Antarctica took place during 1928 to 1930, known as the First Byrd Antarctic Expedition. During this expedition, Byrd established Little America, a base camp on the Ross Ice Shelf, from which he conducted extensive scientific research.
Alright, hold on. Let me look up fucking World War One. I'm trying to get a picture idea of the timeline. I'm gonna come with a video with total timeline. Alright, let's see what we got. Share some screens for y'all. Alright. Just a quick peek, even though like y'all probably know more than me. World War II was Germany. World War I was just like, see, it's a lot going on. I need to see all these real pictures of who was really fighting, even what races they were. It's a lot that I need to figure out. All right. World War I, or the First World War, between two coalitions, the Allies and the Central Powers. I don't know if you can see that, but the Allies look like mostly Africa and Asia. Central Powers: Austria, Hungary, German Empire, Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria. I don't fuck with the Ottoman Empire. The Allies were the United Kingdom, Russia, United States, Italy, Japan. I need to know what war was going on around the 1800s. And as you all seem like all these wars, some always happen like some pandemic, which I believe whoever is smart enough to release some type of pandemic or some type of plague first usually wins the war. That's what it's seeming like. We're going to get more into that. The Black Death, the Dark Ages. I need to take y'all down that road of stuff I've been finding out. So that's not really telling me much. So I'm going to get off this. Let's go back to PowerPoint. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, because they said after the war, like, he just started, let's start taking trips to Antarctica. Like, what the fuck? So, all right.
Research and exploration flights over the supposed continent. His aerial surveys and geographic discoveries significantly expanded the known boundaries of Antarctica and paved the way for future explorations. Byrd's most famous expedition, the Second Byrd Antarctic Expedition, 1933 to 1935, further solidified his reputation as a polar explorer. During this expedition, Byrd made history by becoming the first person to reportedly fly over the South Pole on November 29th, by becoming the first polar explorer. During this expedition, Byrd made history by becoming the first person to reportedly fly over the South Pole on November 29th, 1929, aboard his Ford trimotor aircraft, the Floyd Bennett. This remarkable achievement earned Byrd widespread acclaim and cemented his legacy as one of the greatest explorers of the 20th century. However, it didn't end there. As a renowned polar explorer and naval officer, Byrd was chosen to lead the expedition known as the United States Antarctic Service Expedition, 1939 to 1941, due to his extensive experience and expertise.
These niggas are skiing and shit.
The USASC's primary objectives included conducting scientific studies in various disciplines such as geology, meteorology, glaciology, biology, and oceanography, as well as mapping unexplored regions
and liology
of the continent. In addition to scientific research, the USAC also contributed to technological advancements in polar exploration. Byrd and his team tested innovative equipment, transportation methods, and survival techniques tailored to the extreme equipment,
Who the fuck is he
transportation
carrying? He carrying
methods,
somebody
and
or
survival
animal?
techniques. His team
What-
tested
what is
innovative
it?
equipment, transport.
Is that a dog? You see what he carrying? What is he carrying right there?
Transportation methods and survival techniques tailored to the
dead as
extreme
shit.
conditions, paving the way for future expeditions and operations in the region. And so, an aforementioned future expedition, Operation High Jump, takes the stage. High Jump was a major United States Navy expedition to Antarctica that took place from 1946 to 1947.
Little
Led by
America.
Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump was the largest Antarctic expedition up to that point in history. Similar to the
What is that, Little America? The way they talk about it, like it's another little country or something that all of a sudden we don't know about or they don't teach about. What do you mean, South America?
prior expedition, the objectives were to conduct scientific studies, establish research bases, to test military equipment, and to assert American interests in the region. The expedition was launched shortly after World War II and involved a significant deployment of resources, including multiple ships, aircraft, and personnel. The task force included an aircraft carrier, several seaplane tenders, helicopters, cargo ships, and support vessels. In total, over 4,000 military personnel, scientists, and support staff participated in the operation.
I'm trying to figure out, so that's why I looked it up. Like, so right after World War One, let's just go start like looking to Antarctica. Like they found something out, or they was fighting over who's gonna fucking go over there first. It was something going on. Like it's like after you say like after you win a NBA championship, you go celebrate your prize, right? You go collect your prize. That's what's going on, like, cause after you be over, you be thinking, let's repair the world, let's send relief and help to places we fucked up, and now let's go to Antarctica, motherfucker. Yo, suspect.
The sheer display of power brought to the wintry waste has fueled the belief in German occupation remaining in the region, with their own research still being conducted. German expeditions are a documented fact for Antarctica, taking place in the late 1930s, in which the goals of said expeditions coincide with the Americans to map and document any and all discoveries. However, the outbreak of World War II reportedly disrupted a majority of documented evidence surrounding the Germans and their Antarctic interests. This has given rise to many speculative theories of advanced crafts and capabilities developed by the Germans, with potentially occultic powers and objects at play. Such topics and speculations are not the subject of this video, as they deserve their own allotted time. However, much like the Germans, Admiral Byrd is not unfamiliar with controversy surrounding his involvement with Antarctica.
Chronoscope. It can remind me of Chronovisor. I did that. Check out my Chronovisor video. I'm telling you, that shit is some real shit. Which I believe in a lot of that, like remote viewing and all this stuff. Like, I mean, close your eyes. Close your eyes and go there, nigga. All right, let's keep going.
Unlike your typical conspiracies, the additional facts or speculations do not originate from the mouth of others. Rather, in the case of Admiral Byrd, from the horse itself. During an episode of the American TV series Longini's Chronoscope, Admiral Byrd tells plainly what it is he saw.
Good evening, this is Frank Knight. May I introduce our co-editors for this edition of the Longines Chronoscope? Larry Lasser, CBS News correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine. Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
The North Pole used to be a no man's land, but these are the days when, by buying...
Yo, I don't know. It's like some white people I really fuck with. Like, yo, I fucks with Byrd. I don't know why. Motherfucker probably was evil as shit, but for some reason it just seemed like he was trying to tell us something. He sounded like he wasn't down with like keeping us all a slave and caged in this little area. He probably wanted to tell more. I need to find his journal. I think he got a journal or a book or something.
A ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. Yet only 70 or more years ago, about 35 years ago, our guest tonight...
35 years ago? And why they cut it off? What's going on? Y'all trying to stop me? Right. I'm about to check YouTube. Am I still live? Like, them niggas right.
Antarctica has captured. 3. Ferguson published his map projection titled Map of the Square and Stationary Earth. The map depicted the Earth as a flush, square surface with the North Pole at the center and the continents arranged symmetrically around it. Ferguson's map included annotations and biblical references intended to support his flush Earth model. At the base of Orlando's illustration are scriptures that condemn the globe.
Go back to
the referenced scriptures will be explored, but first we will begin with the foundation. Christ Jesus is the foundation. He is relating to the firmament, except this time the operations against it via the hands of the world's governments. I draw attention to an event named Operation Fishbowl. Operation Fishbowl was a series of high-altitude nuclear tests conducted.
Told you, check that Godzilla video I got out. Like, it's like a lot of my theories come from, I don't know, like the astral planes, the Akashic records, like deep in my DNA, maybe psychic abilities that we have that we actually can know the truth. We don't got to keep digging off. That's why, like, a lot of times people resist the truth. I just be like, nigga, you just resisting, because everything exists in you, like all past, present, and future of what happened, what's happening, and what's going to happen. So I was always on these theories. Like, check that Godzilla video. I feel like a lot of these, like, I think maybe, I don't know why I'll be thinking, like, it reminds you of them Godzilla movies. Like, they was doing something, and Godzilla woke up like, oh, y'all doing too much up there. Let me come wreck shit. And I feel like around this time, I don't know if it was the Fishbowl era or the first NASA flights or anytime. I feel like a lot of time they was dropping these. Remember, the Godzilla video was it was called Hiroshima Stop Godzilla or some shit like that. Cause I don't know why, I just feel like that moment, like that nuke went up to the fucking firmament, and you hear him talking about, of course, records. We can look into that too. Fishbowl. I'm gonna write down all these joints, and I'm gonna go solo and look up all these points. Operation High Jump, the Treaty of Antarctica, Operation Fishbowl. I'm gonna look up all of it. Like, I mean, I pretty much know it all, but I need to really just go into it, like. Cause they would shoot. They've been like, that's what probably happened with what they say global warming. They were shooting nukes, weakened a certain point, and then it had to heal again. Like, it seems like the firmament heals slowly. It will heal by itself, but they probably nuked it so hard it caused effects for years and years and years to slowly heal. What else? What else movie? Oh, I'm going to see the next flat earth joint I'm going to do. Highlander. Remember on part 2? They blocked out the sun or some shit, like, like, yeah. We gonna go into that.
Conducted by the United States as part of its larger Operation Dominic, which aimed to test various aspects of nuclear weapons technology during the Cold War era. The specific objective of Operation Fishbowl was to evaluate the effectiveness of nuclear weapons in space and their potential impact on the Earth's magnetosphere. Beginning in 1962, Operation Fishbowl comprised several nuclear detonations launched from Johnston Atoll in the Pacific Ocean. The tests were reportedly conducted at high altitudes to observe the behavior of nuclear explosions in the near-vacuum conditions of space and their interaction with the Earth's magnetic field.
Translation. Y'all figured out that y'all couldn't escape the firmament, or when y'all got past. See, what it sounded like is they went past them ice walls, them motherfuckers next level beings and stuff. Because I think the higher 7th, 8th, 9th density dimension beings that can move it up basically you can't leave physically. All this physical matter is contained within the firmament. It's not gonna, it can't exist without it. So that's what probably the problem is. They like, if you leave the firmament, your body can't leave it. So he probably told Admiral Byrd and his crew and all the motherfucking Nazi colonizers, because some niggas was out of control around that time. He probably told them like, yo, you can forget about going up trying to escape. Basically, he probably told them, look, take your ass back to the middle of your fucking circle and don't try to go up and get an escape through space because it don't exist. That shit probably tends to be shit. You tell white people you can't go somewhere, I bet they're gonna keep trying to go. And they was like, probably figured out, damn, we can't go up there. Like, and it's like, when you trapped in a room or something, ain't you gonna eventually panic and start trying to kick down the door? You just trying anything. So that's what sounded like was going on. They probably was like, don't tell white people you can't go there. I bet them motherfuckers will start going. So he probably told them, you ain't leaving through the sky going upward. And they probably was like, what, motherfucker? Oh, when they came back to Earth realm in the middle of our ring, I'm about to show you the map. They just start shooting the nukes. say fuck that. Basically, man continuously keep trying to test God. Like, these are things we don't understand. Science that's next level. Like, dimensions we can't even understand how to tap into. How to even escape this density, this dimension. Like, why does our spirit get trapped inside the body? Like, these things we don't even understand yet. And then look at these dummies. Shoot missiles at the firmament. Fuck it. Like, come on, my guy.
These detonations were part of the broader effort by both the United States and the Soviet Union to develop and understand the capabilities of nuclear weapons during the Cold War arms race. The operation included several tests, notably bluegill, starfish, and kingfish. Bluegill and starfish were the first attempts to launch nuclear warheads into space using Thor missiles. The goal was to determine the effects of nuclear detonations at various altitudes, including the potential disruption of communications and radar systems.
And what I never understood is too, why y'all setting off them fucking nukes with y'all soldiers? Like, I mean, I guess they say they out of the reach of the blast, and I'm not really sure about the radiation because they didn't know about all that yet. Probably per se, they knew about radiation and stuff, but I bet you check on all them soldiers, they fucked up right now. Radiation poisoning. And why y'all setting off from joints where y'all soldiers at? And yeah, duck your head down, don't look at the flash, and die of radiation sickness later. Like, yo, come on, man.
Fish, in particular, reportedly produced unexpected results when it created a temporary artificial radiation belt around the Earth, demonstrating the complexities of nuclear interactions with the magnetosphere. Kingfish, the final test of Operation.
Did they just say that they might have they fucked up and created the Van Allen belt? Because it's like you can't leave the firmament, so all that energy and radiation and it just got stuck in our area. Like, be lucky they didn't fucking kill us all. Real shit.
Operation Fishbowl aimed to evaluate the effects of a high-altitude nuclear explosion on radar and communication systems. However, the test encountered technical difficulties and the warhead failed to detonate at the desired altitude.
Exactly.
It is impossible for us to leave our glass confinement. However, that will not stop them from trying. When Hillary states, "I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think," or the many SpaceX attempts showcase a dispersal of water vapor that they say emanates from the rocket, or when the launching of rockets curves into the direction of the ocean, or when well-known brands also showcase this trapped trajectory, there is a reason for it. It is not a coincidence. Returning to scripture, the next focus is both the sun and moon. Isaiah chapter 40 reads, "Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth?" It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. I found it important to begin with these verses due to the setting of the stage. We have discussed the foundations, that which everything is built upon. We have discussed the dome thereof. As is explained,
I seen a picture of the fucking eclipse. That's what we need to discuss. That shit kind of shook up my belief in flat Earth. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I've been weakened by the eclipse, and like also like the eclipse, and I kind of been shaken. I can't understand the eclipse even on the globe Earth theory. Like, it's just too much. Like my little
in
brain.
Genesis, the sun and moon were only created once the firmament separated the waters. This tabernacle, a tent for creation, covers all sides, and just like a tent, it rests on a foundation, to which the leveled ground creates a flat surface. You do not camp in spherical tents, and neither does creation. The comings and goings of the waters are attributed to the supposed gravitational pull of the moon. However, the truth surrounding the movements of our waters is revealed in the scriptures. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 reads, "All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again." Not only is it...
All right, cause I just thought of something. I'm trying to look up a channel that was explaining how they got patents on eclipse making technology. So we're gonna look at that in a few seconds.
touted for its gravitational pull, the secular narrative attributes the circuits of celestial bodies with the phasing of the moon. However, again, scriptures reveal that the Lord is in control, orchestrating the changing of appearance. Psalm 104 reads, "He appointed the moon for seasons."
All right, let's move on, cause he going deep, but that's too deep for y'all, so it's gonna shake y'all brain out. So I guess do a little reading for y'all. Some do believe it's a disk, but others believe that yes, there's an Arctic Circle in the middle, and there's the land masses around it, and then on Antarctica is the ice around the edge. I don't even believe Antarctica is a whole continent. I just think it's just the ice walls. It's just so far, like miles, that you think it's a whole nother country, but it's just a ring. All right. And then on Antarctica, it is the ice around the edge, but instead of it being a discrete disk, some people believe, in fact, Antarctica just goes on forever in all directions. And so they believe that the Earth is actually an infinite plane in all directions that bisect reality, which is a really lovely idea. Oh, where I get this from? Pussy ass nigga. I don't like that last line, how you said that. Which is a really lovely idea. Fuck you, nigga. It ain't an idea, motherfucker. It's real. What's this? I got a lot of crazy shit.
Antarctica ice wall. These are the only photos that I was able to find online that look close to something like the ice wall Antarctica. And I didn't search for the...
Alright, check his channel out, Divergent. Go subscribe to him, just straight Divergent.
It's on Google, don't get me wrong. Google is good, but not for these type of things. It is sad. I don't even know what's sadder. The fact that there's no pictures and photos, even if you search like crazy everywhere, or the fact that if you dare to speak with any human being, not you of course, because you are special, because you know what I'm doing on this channel, but in general speaking, with human beings on the street or like at school, at work, and you ask them the question, hey, what is beyond the frozen ocean? And they look at you with that face of, WTF, what are you talking about? And you're saying, oh man, what kind of humanity do I have to live with? So sad. Anyway, at least the photos, they look quite cool, don't you think? It's only 7 of them, and the rest of what you find on the internet, it's exactly in the same kind of thing, like similar. But yeah, it is like...
That right there reminds me of when they, that book that these channels I'll be sharing with you, they be reading the Navigator, the Explorer Beyond the Ice Wall, something like that. And they were saying that his boat at a certain time of the year it was melted, and you can go through like a little alleyway or cavern or whatever, like, and the boat probably small as shit. So, oh damn, I fucked up.
Antarctica ice wall. These are the only photos.
And it seemed like around certain times you can go right on through this, Sean. Instead of trying to climb it, it's probably like fucking damn near mountain size high. So you just go through each little ship. Hopefully, you know, be fucked up. You start going with your ship, and then the passageway just start closing up and just crush you like. And be fucked up. It should just crush you like nope. You only had 30 seconds to get through.
Because you are special, because you know what I'm doing on this channel. But in general speaking, with human beings on the street or like at school, at work, and you ask them the question, hey, what is beyond the frozen ocean? And they look at you with that face of, WTF, what are you talking about? And you're saying, oh man, what kind of humanity do I have to live with? So sad. Anyway, at least the photos, they look quite cool, don't you think? It's only 7 of them, and the rest of what you find on the internet, it's exactly in the same kind of thing, like similar. But yeah, it is like so much desire to go beyond, to explore the other continents and civilizations, and nothing. Absolutely.
It's desire, but your ass gonna be on fire if you get over to those beyond that joint and you didn't get no invite. I mean, I believe if you come like non-threatening, they may not laser you, but pretty sure it all depends, man. I don't necessarily think they bad civilizations and different things. They don't want our fucking dusty ass fucking outside our little containment. It's like a cage. Stay your ass in there and within your little ice walls. Don't you come out here. Like, we'll laser you.
Nothing.
So you can explore it, but like I said, you're not even gonna get this close for one by yourself. You gotta take cruise, and you gotta get special permission to go travel off on foot and all this shit. Look at this little people down here. I don't know if you can see them, but it's like some little people down here. Okay, it'll give you kind of like a little scale. I don't know. Hold on, let me see if y'all can see that. Yeah, look down at the bottom. These little people. They're small. So that's definitely a big ice wall to be trying to climb up. And one thing about me, I love water, but that water don't look like I want to drop in it at all. Slip, nothing. It look freezing cold, and it look like a sea monster is going to swallow you up the minute you fall in. So it might be more to it even then. You might not get through there because of sea monsters. Don't think it's sweet. You need it. See, I was thinking if we wanted to storm the ice walls, we would need like F-15 jets, like, because it's not gonna be sweet. Like America, well, whatever the world powers, whoever they are, they're not gonna let you get like within a mile of that shit to see with your own eyes. Even they just gonna be shoot you down. You're not gonna make it. So that's where we need to figure out a way to backdoor their ass. Pause. Slip in there. Pause. And get wet. Nah, that's pause. All right, let me keep going. I'm clowning. I'm high. It's 2 in the morning now. All right, I give y'all like 15 more minutes. We get off the. It's just so much information. I can make video at the video. I can make video off of just that first video on all the points he went to. We gonna go back to Fishbowl, Operation Fishbowl, on a later video. Why y'all shooting nukes at the fucking firmament? What's up with y'all?
The big question remains. Who decides this frontier? Is it the powers that control these continents that we call America, Europe, Asia, so the places that we call this world? Or is it like something like in Westworld, the TV series, where we have like a superior humanity who are like our creators, and they decided, okay, you, meaning us, have to live on these continents, end of the story, and you shut up. Do you get my point? The problem is, the big majority of people who they call themselves like they call themselves awake, you know what I mean? You speak with them about Westworld and other, like, you know, movies and TV series and entertainment, as they call it, and they just say, oh, that's science fiction. So even among the people that they call themselves, you know, as they know, they don't really know. So even among the people who are a very small percentage, the ones that are actually open-minded to the limits that I am open-minded, like for example me, the content creator of Divergent, of this channel, that's an even smaller percentage. So let's say, you know,
divergent sounds like a nice way to call yourself a virgin. I'm a divergent. That's what I'm. Next time they gonna a bitch be hollering, you date? You the last time? I'm be like, I'm a divergent. Going to the ice walls. No, but my point is, bro, but what the fuck we gonna do about it? Divergent guy, let's go. Like, we need like a secret group chat, like that can't get intercepted and tapped by the government, even though that's impossible. We need to meet up off the grid somewhere and get this plan together.
If 1% of the people from all of humanity are considering themselves to be open-minded, in that 1%, only 1% are really open-minded, like me, for example. So sad. See you next time.
Oh, he just dipped out and shit. I want to look up it real quick. Hold on, let's look up that patent real quick. Let's see if we can. I don't think it's gonna. They ain't gonna. But it's somewhere. Hold on. All right. It said, "Oh, it's a corporation." Goddamn. What? Nah, hold on. They talking about some recycling. It definitely looked like they disguised it with some bullshit. They talking about recycling. Something. Let's try patent on their clips. I doubt it. They hiding it. Stupid patent of the month. Eclipse IP casts a shadow over what? They hiding it. I found it up. I need to go to the patent department. I guess it's international or U.S. Solar eclipses to be made on demand by new spacecraft. Next week's eclipse will at the most last about 4.5 minutes for viewers in the U.S. In contrast, Proba 3 will be able to create events lasting up to 6 hours at a time. Wasn't that last one kind of like a couple hours? Oh, let's go back to PowerPoint. I give you like 10 more minutes, then I'm out. But like I said, you can look up all this shit. So, just look it up. I dare you.
Now this video.
Life before the ice wall. I don't know if she's going to talk anything. I should say this for next video, but let's go.
Now this video is probably going to be.
You already know. Auntie Tatiana. Subscribe to her shit.
One of the most important videos I ever made. So please pay attention. I got a lot of information for you guys, and I've literally been up for 5 days straight doing all this research. I'm doing it so you don't have to. If you've been keeping up with my page, then you already know that I believe that the earth is flat, we're enclosed within a dome, and there's other lands beyond the dome. Now I'm going to start this video off by discussing Japan discovering 7,000 new islands. It's the year 2023. How are you just now finding all this uncharted land? It has discovered 7,000 more than it previously thought. Suspicious. Mind you, we are right here in the Earth realm. There's no telling how many more continents or uncharted land is in the Earth realm, not including all the other land.
For real, like I feel like it's even within the ice walls. There's more land that they ain't saying. Shit, none of us know about Epstein Island until it came out, huh?
Lands outside of our realm. But that's not what this video is about. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the time period before the Anunnaki and the custodians infiltrated our lands. So as you guys can see, there is an ice wall surrounding us. However, that ice was not always there. The ice wall was placed there using custodian technology. Now this map is called the Piri-Reis map, and it was drawn on gazelle skin in 1513. Scientists agree that it is an accurate depiction of the coastline of Antarctica. Now here comes the crazy part. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered by Europeans until the year 1820. In fact, this map isn't even an original. A handwritten note found with this map explains that it was a compilation of 20 different references, meaning Antarctica was mapped before the year 1513. Who was able to map this so accurately and without the technology that we have today? And as you can see, there's even animals and farming going on, meaning that Antarctica was a fertile land. So we now know that Antarctica didn't always have ice, but also the Arctic, aka the North Pole, also didn't have ice. At one point in time, the Tree of Life was located right here in the center of our realm. This is a visual of the Tree of Life for those of you that have never heard of it. The Tree of Life is even depicted in old maps from the 16th.
Oh, I have a theory. In ancient wars, I keep hearing things about like before when black people or the original people or Anunnaki or Atlantean, which y'all have videos on all that. But it's not about race. But what I mean is when our skin was blue and green and different colors, like a straight dark hue. And supposedly at one of the wars, early wars, it sounded like they pushed our first son. We had a first son and they pushed it back further or something like that. They probably destroyed it for what happened. And then that's when you get the Bible area when it said, let there be light and stuff, because the earth was probably just sitting here fucked up. Like y'all probably had a war and destroyed the first sun or whatever y'all did, pushed it way or back into the next circle or whatever, ice ring area. And it probably was a bigger sun. That's why the middle of North Pole is probably hot and warmer. And it was a bigger sun, and the ice walls of Antarctica probably wasn't there. It probably wasn't frozen. So it seemed like something had went on, and they destroyed their first sun, and then the world was in darkness, and then that's when you get the Genesis story of they created the sun and the moon. A little tidbit for y'all. Y'all can look all that up too. I'll do a video on that soon.
Century. For example, this is the Mercator map. As you can see, there is no ice at the North Pole, and the Tree of Life is represented right here by this rock called Rupes nigra, which means black rock. This rock was magnetic, which explains why all compasses point to this location. But you have to understand, it wasn't a black rock always. It once was the Tree of Life, but after it got destroyed, and this was the outcome. The people of the 16th century believed.
Check them Hollywood movies. What was it? Avatar. They destroyed that Tree of Life.
Believed that the North Pole was a magnetic mountain surrounded by a continent divided by 4 powerful rivers. They also stated that there was a whirlpool in the center. Keep that in mind because that is very important for later. In my History is Alive video, I explained to you guys how ancient civilizations built their cities to be surrounded by water, like this and this. And they did this due to the knowledge they had of different frequencies' effect on water. Using sound, they were able to change the molecular structure of the water, therefore providing positive vibrations for the people in the city, especially when they drank the water. So now you understand why the North Pole was surrounded by water, these rivers. Now I want you to look at this map and remember this part right here. Take a mental photograph. This is our good old friend Walt Disney, and he is looking at an illustration of his vision for Disney World. And what is that in the center you see? I zoomed in. This is an aerial view of Disney World. And at the center of Disney World, we see what looks like the North Pole, the Tree of Life, divided by 4 powerful rivers. But this isn't shocking for Walt Disney. We already know that he throws it in our face about the dome that we live in. Not to mention him being BFFs with the creator of NASA, Wernher von Braun. They put the truth in science fiction and feed it off to you like lies, and they put the lies in science and feed it off to you like the truth. Walt Disney knew that the North Pole is where the vortex was located. I'll get more.
Yo, she's spitting right now. Yo, that shit made me think about all the movies, and then start thinking about all the science. Like, yo, like.
More into that later. Now, you guys know how our society loves to lie to children and tell them that Santa Claus lives at the North Pole. Oh, and by the way, you should already be aware that Christmas is a pagan holiday. But the concept of Christmas trees actually derives from the North Pole and the Tree of Life. As you guys know, the North Star is located at the North Pole. So the North Star sitting above the Tree of Life is where modern day humans got the idea for Christmas trees. Now, I'm sure you guys have all heard of the Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights, that happens in the North Pole. But I bet what you didn't know is that this is happening because of the Tree of Life. It is the remains of all the spiritual energy left behind from the Tree of Life. Now, I have this book right here that discusses what the different aura colors means. And I'm going to let you guys know what the Northern Lights colors mean. So the first color I see up there is green. Green involves healing. It attracts abundance with ease. It is very open to giving and receiving love. The other color I see that's prominent is...
When I see green, I think of weed. I'm a fucking pothead. Alright, she went deep enough on you with the Tree of Life. She going off track. We not talking about the middle. We trying to get to the outer. We trying to escape. But it might be some tidbits. Something might be a clue in the North Pole. Maybe a Stargate.
Is magenta. You get the word black hole from. It sucks you into another realm. And Elon Musk has a boring company. Now, either he is trying to create another vortex outside of this realm.
Just like I said, told you, man. Y'all be...
Now, this video is probably going to be North Pole, the people living around. Now, when Richard Byrd went through the vortex at the North Pole, I believe it took him here to Asgard. As
Admiral Byrd?
Guardians were put there to harness the energy distributed from the Tree of Life and project it outwards to the people living around. Now, when Richard Byrd went through the vortex at the North Pole, I believe it took him here to Asgard. As Guardians were put there as guardians of our realm and Earth. When shit is about to pop off, they are the first to let us know. That's why if you read Richard Byrd's diary, they're giving him the drop about what's going to happen. Okay, guys, so you remember how I said that we were energetic beings? Well, this realm is a giant power grid. Our Earth has its own magnetic field. Why do you think we have to charge crystals? They are very powerful, especially if you know how to tap into the energy within them. Even your aura, it is an electromagnetic field around you. Your thoughts, your words, everything, it's all energy. Why do you think you're able to manifest certain things to yourself? The law of attraction, which is another one of those 12 universal laws I told y'all to look into. But anyways, back to the lesson. At some point in time, the Tree of Life, along with other trees in our realm, were destroyed. And these trees were huge, you guys. Not like the normal trees you see out in your backyard. These were enormous trees that were destroyed. What you think are mountains are not mountains. They are the remains of the trees that got destroyed. Once the tree got destroyed, we became disconnected from source. Think about the Tower of Babel story. The tower got destroyed and all the people were separated, making them speak different languages so that they couldn't unite again to build anything like this. When all of our trees were destroyed, it released a lot of CO2 in the atmosphere, which heated our realm up. Our realm was no longer a Garden of Eden, no longer a tropical paradise. It was hot as shit. But where did all the ice come from? Now here's an article proving my point about the Arctic not always having ice. 55 million years ago, the Arctic was once a lot like Miami, with an average temperature of 74 degrees. And this was discovered by scientists. Now these same scientists say this: that a fern named Azolla started sucking up the carbon dioxide to help cool the Arctic back down. So essentially what they're saying is this fern right here, Azolla, is what caused the Arctic to freeze back over. But we know it was the Anunnaki and custodian technology. But let's just start with this Azolla fern. I looked up the meaning of Azolla in Latin.
I mean, the Anunnaki, whoever wanted to ice up them ice walls areas, they probably planted that shit. They can engineer a fucking plant or some biological life that do the like they master terraformers. Which I need you to understand, like.
And I got from the pot. And I was thinking, from the pot. From the pot. And then that's when it clicked, you guys. The pot is what the Anunnaki carried with them. Inside the pot is what they used to freeze over our realm. And if you look at this plant that they have over here, it looks a lot like the Azolla. Here's another look, and you see at first I thought this was a pine cone, but when you look at a picture of an Azolla fern and the seed, it actually resembles the seed. Here's some more pictures of the Azolla seed.
Bro, why is she spitting like this?
So essentially, the ice that we see today came from the pot, the seed of the Anunnaki's creation. And because of all this ice, the vortex at the North Pole was destroyed. But in part 2, I will be explaining to you guys how we can open back up that vortex.